There's a change going on in the Instagram world, a change towards being more authentic, a change towards being more real. Because a lot of influencers don't take it too seriously with being real and honest, unfortunately. Anyway, in today's video, I'll show you the tricks that people use, the tricks influencers use to blow up their numbers and their stats using a tool called HypeAuditor. And I'll take one of your accounts and show you what you have to look out for. Anyway, let's get going, my friends. Let's get going. Welcome back, my friends. My name is Dominik, and if you've been on Instagram for the last couple of years, especially in the last couple of months, especially watching this channel here, you're probably aware by the fact that things are not always like they seem on Instagram. And for this video, I'd like to show you something really interesting, a report that I found on HypeAuditor. If you don't know what HypeAuditor is, you probably have seen it on this channel a few times already. It's basically a website, a service scanning through the whole Instagram platform, looking out for data, whatever that data is. They use machine learning algorithms, stuff like that, to find out very, very interesting things. We're gonna get right into that. And last year, they pretty much analyzed the whole Instagram platform itself. And they put their findings into a very interesting report called The State of Influencer Marketing 2019. It's a very interesting read. I recommend you to read that. Link it down below. And what they found out is not only some general information like, what the average Instagram user, how many likes the average Instagram user has, or, what's going on with the whole engagement problem. Hint, it actually went up. Very interesting. You should read about that. Anyway, they also focused on a very, very interesting topic called influencer fraud. And here's where it gets very interesting, my friends. For example, in Germany or Italy, they figured out that only about 35% of influencers out there are fraud-free, which in turn means that about 65% of those influencers have some sort of weird activity going on. And that's actually very, very interesting for me to see. Which brings me to the next point, which is their tool called HypeAuditor. And you've probably seen it here on my channel a few times already. I use that for clients to figure out, if clients, what are they doing, if they're doing some things wrong, stuff like that. And I also use it to check out other people. For example, for people I meet at marketing events to see what they're really up to see if they're really what they seem. I have 100,000 followers. Yeah, sometimes those followers are not real. Anyway, to show you what you can really do with this tool and to show you what you can really get out of it and what things that you have to keep in mind when using this tool, I'm going to take one of your accounts. Yes, you heard me correctly, my friends, and put you through the whole machine. Right, so now I just went through my comments, and one comment in particularly stood out to me, which was by Justina Snow. Interesting name. She said, I've done it 1,455 times. That's actually a lot. Justina, I guess, but maybe a request for you. Yeah, it's actually successful for now. So, who knows? Justina Snow, let me put you through the HypeAuditor machine. Right, so I just put you through the HypeAuditor machine. It shows me what your name is, where you're based at, your niches even, which is really interesting that they figured that out based on, interactions and stuff like that. Your engagement rate right at the top off and your followers. By the way, your engagement rate is really, really good. 10% right off the bat. It's really good. Anyway, the first big thing that you can see here is the audience quality score. And basically the audience quality score, as you can see right here, is a metric between 1 and 100. And basically it combines a lot of factors for your audience. It tells you basically how valuable is your audience, how authentic is your audience. They factor in stuff like engagement rate, active audience type, if they're real people or not, and then how do they know? Machine learning algorithm, or weird patterns in your growth, stuff like that. I'm gonna get into that right now. So your audience, Justina, is actually very good. Like they say, you have 85 out of 100%, which actually for brands out there, and I know brands use this tool called HypeAuditor. I use that myself, like I said. The first thing that they see on this report, basically, you see, okay, your audience is very good. Your audience quality score is very, very good. Right, which brings me to the next very interesting part of this whole report. So, by the way, if there's a fake influencer out there, or some person that you suspect might be faking it, stuff like that, first look would be your audience quality score. If it's really, really low, chances are it is actually low, right? Of course, we don't want to put any false accusations on it. It can be, of course. You never know. Anyway, the next part here is the audience. You can actually see, all right, the country. Most of your followers come from Germany and the United States, some Brazil, Lithuania. As some of them, in the United States, most of them come from California. Which city? Here, you can actually kind of see, okay, are those people real or not? And if there's some fakers in there, I don't want to put any names out there, but India, for example, is very, very prevalent in those reports where the audience might not be that, real. Brazil also, but, of course, there's lots of real Brazilian people, but it just happens to be a Brazilian click farm, or I don't even know why. And then in the report, what's very, very interesting is the audience type. So you can basically see, okay, what are real people, what are influencers, and influencers, they name influencers people with 5,000 followers and up, right? Then they kind of see, okay, mass followers. I made a video about that, the ghost follower video. Basically, people who follow a lot of people don't see them all anymore, and maybe they're doing some follow patterns, they're doing some other weird stuff. Basically, they're not of interest to you, because they just bring down your own score in a way. For example, they follow 1,500, 3,000 other people. Chances that they see your content are pretty much zero, right? So chances of them interacting with your content are pretty much zero as well. So that brings up down your whole account. In your case, that's about 20% of people. Well, I do have a lot of them as well. Lots of people have a lot of them. For example, we can take a look at that, the exact number. We can take a look at them. We can delete them if you want to. Anyway, there's also suspicious accounts, like accounts that are, in some sort of comment pots, other accounts that do some weird sketchy behavior, which you obviously don't want to have. You have about 3,000 of those combined of mass followers and suspicious account. It's kind of on the big side, but it's okay. It's not that bad. And then you can see the audience reachability, which is also really interesting, because you can see, okay, most of your audience has less than 1,500 followers, which is good for you, which makes the probability of you reaching those people really high. What's also really interesting in the HypeAuditor tool, you can see your numbers compared to the average of people that can be compared to you. So you can kind of see, okay, am I slacking off, or am I actually on the right path? In your case, you're above average. You can see your audience authenticity. You have about 60% of your audience looks authentic, compared to 55.5%, which is also really interesting, right? So next comes a followers and following graph. And if you're trying to find some fake influencer who might have done something sketchy with their follower numbers, with their stuff like that, you have to look out for this graph, okay? For example, like you can see here, obviously you're authentic here. It's going, sometimes, there's some staling periods. Sometimes it might even go down a little bit. That's just the natural way of doing things. That's just life, it just goes up and down. But generally, you can see like a really smooth and graph. And for example, if someone was buying followers, for example, or doing some weird activities, you could see like down there with the following point, like a huge spike. Okay, all of a sudden a spike, sometimes even followed by a decline in followers. Because usually if you buy followers, they're really bad. They get banned by Instagram. They get deleted. So you see a huge decline. That's why with a lot of followers, with a lot of influencers, and if you have a company out there and try to, work with some influencers, if they're declining, if their numbers are declining, chances are, even if you don't see a spike, chances are they bought some followers, 3 years ago or 1 year ago. Okay, so always be aware of that. Put it through HypeAuditor or contact me. I can help you find out. Anyway, you've grown actually 7%, which is pretty good. You can see your growth is organic. Some sort of, follow pattern, stuff like that. You can also see that. You can also see your audience interested, which is very interesting for people who don't know what's my niche. What are the people? Which content should I focus on? Just put it there. You can see, okay, beauty and fashion, art and design. This is what you should go for. Apparently, this is your audience consists of mostly of those people. And if you're like, oh, my engagement is declining, stuff like that, take a week or two, craft content specifically. For example, in your case, beauty and fashion. Okay, just for those people, or art and design. Try it out. measure it, and I'm sure you'll see that your engagement is gonna go up. It's gonna rise. Obviously, also with the Explore page, stuff like that. Instagram will, if they see, okay, these kinds of people are into you, will recommend your comment a lot more to those kinds of people. Next thing what we have is the engagement, which a lot of people say, right, my engagement sucks so bad. In your case, Justina, it's actually very good. You can see it's about 10%, which similar accounts receive only 2% of engagement. And now it gets a little bit more advanced, okay? If you're trying to spot some faker, you have to look at the thing that we call like spread, okay? It's basically the number of likes between your posts. Is that always the same, or are there some differences? Maybe it's high and then a little bit low, or very low if, sometimes content just doesn't do well in terms of likes. If it's always the same, for example, every time it has between 120 and 125 likes, or every time it has between 1,000 and 1,020 likes, okay? Your like spread is very low, meaning the chances are pretty high of the creator buying likes or participating in some sort of pot, okay? We're always the same kinds of people, come in, like, and basically blow up their numbers. So always look out for that. Like the next point here, which is the comment authenticity. Now here it says average. They say some of the 873 recent comments might come from accounts that participate in Instagram pods. Doesn't mean that the creator itself isn't an Instagram pod itself, though, because I think it shows that on my account as well, even though I'm 100% not in an engagement pod. But probably a lot of those people are in engagement pods for other people. So this software is going to detect that, of course, which is good. Obviously, you can never tell for sure if someone is in an engagement pod, stuff like that. You would have to track each and every comment against each other and try to see, okay, does this person comment on this account and vice versa, and do they always do that? Do they always have 4 words in the comments, or 5+ words, and stuff like that. So watch out. And of course, the likes to comment ratio, which is pretty good. You receive about 8.6 comments per 100 likes. That's actually a lot. We're gonna have to check out your account a little bit later, because similar accounts receive 3.2 comments per 100 likes, which seems a lot more. You never know. Let's just see. Maybe you are in a comment pot. What we're gonna see. And then it shows your estimated post price, which is also really interesting, because when I started with this whole influencers thing, by the way, I'm not doing it anymore, only for certain kinds of brands that I think help my audience out. I didn't know what's my price. Here you can actually see your price, and something that's very, very interesting, probably not for the creator itself, but for the people wanting to hire that creator, that influencer. You can see, okay, what's the advertising performance? And I think this is a new feature here, but you can actually see, okay, your average engagement rate is 10.60. What? Your average engagement rate is higher with advertising posts? Very, very interesting. We're gonna have to see. You can see, okay, how many advertising posts does that influencer have? Obviously, you're looking for a low, frequency. They kind of make it seem like it's a bad thing, but it's actually good if you don't do a lot of, advertising posts. Something that's also cool, especially when sending out brand proposals and stuff like that. If you go up to your profile in the left corner, you can click on your thing, kind of like your Instagram story, and you can see, okay, this is verified by my audience quality score is 85. Which is very good. So you can, download that, send that to people that you have a collaboration with, stuff like that. It helps really good. So let me check out your account. Welcome, Justina Snow. Fucking base. I like your caption. I know it will put off a lot of advertisers just because of the word fucking. But then again, a lot of other advertisers are gonna be like, awesome. By the way, you don't want to do too much advertising. Anyway, use your influence for yourself. This is my stance on this whole point. And you do actually have a lot of comments. What's going on here? Do you participate in comment pods? Or do you have some... What are you doing? Let me just check. Okay, you put some call to action in this post, which, maybe you have a really strong community, which then it would be really, really great. But 800 likes and 150 comments... Okay, this is kind of normal. Okay. Sometimes you do have a lot of comments. Or Justina, tell me. I want to know what's going on. Comment down below, Justina. Are you in a comment pod or not? Or maybe you're doing some sort of advertising. You put some ads in your post. But anyway, I like your feet. I like your style. You're obviously a fucking bassist, which is awesome. I'm gonna check out your band later. You have a very, very good audience. I tell you that. Use your audience for your band. I mean, I'm pretty sure you do that. But use this whole influence that you have to put towards your band, and your band will benefit from that. Definitely. Let me just check that out really quick. All right, there's definitely a little bit of space for improvement. Looks like your random. I'm gonna be as honest with you as possible. It looks like your random page, band page, doesn't stand out right from the beginning. But you do stand out with your profile, which is very good. So that's why you should put all of your influence that you get to your band. Of course, only if you want to do that. Anyway, so what I wanted to say with this video is, first of all, you can see it's changing. Lots of influencers that are faking right now are being caught by more and more brands. Because I know a lot of big brands already use this HypeAuditor right now to actually verify the authenticity of the influencers they're working with. I use that myself, and I actually think it's very good what they do, because they're kind of like the influencer police, the Instagram police out there, making people aware, okay, there's this tool out there. There's actually brands using this tool for checking out if I'm real or not. And this hopefully, and what I personally think, this could be one of those few outside factors actually that keep that Instagram boat from sinking in a way. Anyway, check them out. I've linked them down below if you want to check out your own profile, other profiles. Of course, gotta disclaim that this video is sponsored by HypeAuditor, but I wouldn't, like I say all the time, I wouldn't do a sponsorship with a company that I absolutely don't think would be beneficial to you. And I not only think it's beneficial to you, actually, like I just said, think it's really beneficial for the whole Instagram community itself. Anyway, so if you're an influencer or you have a personal brand and want to scale that to a next level, first thing that you should do is actually hit that subscribe button, my friends. And the other thing, if you maybe want to generate some substantial income, 4 to 5 figures, always possible with a small audience. I'll tell you how it is. And maybe you just want to know how it's done. Maybe you want to do that yourself. Go to heyDominik.com, schedule a free call. We're going to figure out what you can do with your current strategy, what you can change, because usually there's only a few buttons and knobs that you should turn in order to get this personal brand thing really taken off. And we're here to help you with that. Anyway, we're almost full already. I just announced that yesterday. We're almost full with this whole thing. So be sure to apply right now. Also, be sure to check out HypeAuditor, which is actually one of the best softwares out there for Instagram. And I really mean that. My name is Dominik. We're doing a proper full-blown account review next week even. I didn't forget about that. This was only a small piece of the pie. And I'll see you in a couple of days. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.